Well, hello, it's day 5 of Inktober Tangles challenge. Today we are drawing a tangle by Romy Marks, Heart Nouveau. So it's not Art Nouveau, it's Heart Nouveau. It has a heart element in it. And I'm going to draw it somewhere here on top. So I will start the stem right here. And then it will go under my N. I'm leaving some space for auras and then continuing on top. And now I will zoom in so you can see better. And I will continue drawing the tangle. So it starts from a shape that's like this. And again, it's not about perfection, it's not about making it look symmetric. So allow yourself to be a flawed human being, which we are all, and don't expect that your artwork will not be flawed. And now the heart. I'm nesting it here, and I think the shape can be visible nicely. And now from these endings of the section that I drew before, it's like a W. I'm drawing this curved cap of sorts, and then these radiating lines that flow from the heart towards the edge of the cap. And I'm adding some rounding, some weight to the lines, which you don't need to, but if you like it, you can. And finally, I will extend this on both sides with another shape. And it's not like it has to look like anything in particular. So you can make yours look different than mine does. And it will end with another line that comes from the central point of the flower and then merges with this on top. It's a nice one. Obviously, it is supposed to remind you of some kind of an Art Nouveau ornament, and I'm finally adding some more roundings to it. Just because I love it, it's a suggestion. And then I think that I might add another one, because one is lonely. Let me just draw an aura and another one to kind of know where it would end or begin. But this time I'm going to draw the stem across the letter K, just to add some variety to this. And remember, we are using white jelly rolls for highlighting, so I will cover this little yellow part just like I did here. And again, I drank 2 coffees this morning already. It's 11 now. So if you are wondering why my lines are shaky, that's the answer. It's the 2 coffees. I just love coffee, and I should maybe try not to drink too much before I start drawing, at least on a video. But I don't let any shaky lines prevent me from enjoying the drawing process. And they are surely going to be shakier as I'm getting older. But that's not a reason not to draw. So any of you who are thinking that you're not good enough because your hand shakes, please don't think so. Just embrace it as a kind of an integral character of your drawing, and don't try to make the lines perfect. And I get some emails sometimes or messages of people who ask me what to do about the shaky lines and do I have any recommendations. I say give yourself a permission to draw the shaky lines and be less than perfect at any time. But what I can say about it, if you want to try to like make them less shaky, drink less coffee. I'm not following my own advices. And another thing, nest your hand firmly on the drawing surface. So nest your hand on the drawing surface and then draw. Now I'm adding these oral lines around the letter K. And I want to do that because I think I might maybe add some kind of a leaf shape somewhere. Let me see. Oops, that one went a little further away. And I will ink in this section between the letter and the first oral line, just like I did here. But you can do this alone. You don't need my guidance for that. But now that I'm looking at this, I'm not sure that I have space for a leaf shape. Maybe just a small one like this, a thin one. And I'm not sure if I can add any other leaf shape. But I like these two flowers. They are nice on top of this. And I think I will ink in some spaces here just to increase the contrast between the lettering and these oral lines and the shapes of my flowers. So you can do the inking in as well if you like it. And I think because this is quite busy already, I won't add any more tangles here that intertwine with my letters or go over my letters. So I can also add an aura line and then another one. Right here there's such a narrow space that I will not go all the way into the space between I and N. So I will continue this, but you don't have to watch me do the aura line. And I will just stop this here because I will see how this develops as I move away from two other tangles. It's so difficult for me to predict after 5 days how much space will I have after 25 more, right? It's not easy to think that much far away because the tangles will be different. They will require different kind of space. So let's see. And now for the shading, I want to increase the contrast between different sections of the flower. And I think I will start with just shading and highlighting one, and then maybe I will do the second one of the video because I will do the same. And I will not shade below the flower because I will probably ink in that part. So I'm shading the stems, and I want to add shade here. So I'm basically looking at different sections of the flower, and I'm trying to imagine which one would be on top and which one would be on in the bottom. So I assume that heart and this W, there's nothing to compare this with. That's a great thing about Zentangle. It's not figurative, it's abstract, and you can't find a flower like this in nature. So you can shade it whatever, Just choose the way to shade it, and even choose the way to draw it. Make a tangulation of it. You don't need to draw it the same way that I did or that's used in the step outs. Nothing to compare it with, so whatever you do with it, it will be fine. And for the highlights, I'm going to add the highlight to the top and to this W, and it's not really visible. Today I changed the position, so I moved to a table that's very close to the source of light, which is a big window in front of me, and I'm not using any artificial light. So if you are maybe noticing a change in the light, I'm drawing in the daylight, and I'm using the benefit of doing so by I'm adding now the rounding. I can't help myself, even though this will probably later be inked in. We'll see about that as well. So this is it, and because I'm here next to the window, maybe you can't see the white highlights as well as you would see them if I was using my LED panel that I use for the light when I don't use the natural light, and everything is just brighter in that light. So the white highlights are brighter than this is, I think, more close to the real look of it. Hopefully you can notice the shades and the highlights and everything about it. I will keep on adding the shades and highlights to the one on the right. Now I'm pondering, you know, should I stop the video or should I continue with the process? And of course, once you saw it for the first time, the shading, what I'm doing with the shading, then you don't need to see it again. But I'm not sure, maybe you can write me in the comment section and let me know if you would like to see the whole process, or for me to maybe make the videos shorter and not repeat the same thing twice. And then as I'm saying this, I know that there will be different preferences, and that some people will want to see this and some people will want to see that, and in the end you can't make everybody happy, and you have to choose what you will do, you know, or I have to choose what I will do. This was actually weird, how I decided to place the other muka. I forgot about the aura lines, and I just placed it here, like going out of the letter I. But once I add the highlights, I think it might look a little bit better than it does now. Not the highlights, actually, once I ink in this first aura around the letter, I think it might look better than it does right now. Let me shade or blend these shades here, and then I can go inside with my white jelly roll to make this stem a little bit brighter, to try to at least partially cover the yellow ink. And I might need, again, more than one layer to do that. And of course, I want to ink in the space around my letters, so everything will be less busy once we are done with shades and inking in and highlights and everything. So I think now I will continue working on those highlights and inking in off camera, because really you don't need me to guide you through that, and then I will come back once it's finished to share it with you. Sorry, I kicked my camera. Okay, I'm back after I just shaded and highlighted another flower. I inked in the aura around the letters, and I didn't really do anything that I didn't show you how to do. So hopefully this was helpful. It was not my first time that I drew a heart Nouveau tangle. I drew it when I was teaching a video class which was Art Nouveau themed. At least I hoped that my design looked like Art Nouveau, and it was one of the two versions that I taught in my video class. So I'm familiar with it and I love it. It's a gorgeous tangle. And I hope that you like how I drew it. And I think that's it for this day 5 of Inktober Tangles challenge. And I will see you tomorrow with the prompt number 6. Goodbye, peeps. Have a lovely day.